Blessed love people. Today we have a very important guest, very interesting guest. His name is King Majii. He's a yoga instructor and he's also a musician. Right? And he's here to drop some very precious gems, and I hope that you really learn a lot from him. Blessed love everybody. Today we're here with Derek
Mackin, yes.
Also known as Majii.
And King Majii too is the greatest strength for the rising.
Alright, so here we go. Now let's let him introduce himself. Talk to you people.
Yes, people. Now, I will have to begin with a great strength to give thanks for the word, the sound and the power. And in giving thanks for the word and the sound and the power, and I am of a Rastafari energy, I will always have to say, give thanks to the most omnipotent, might, wise, creation, Eli, Selassie, that might the Rastafari, and Empress Menenai, which is Alpha and Omega, male and female balance, who created Rastafari to be, and every vibration of all the Almighty, because we know the power of the one and the all in one. So we are embracing everything through righteousness. Yes, so my mother called me Derek Mackenzie to birth certificate and naming, but in my evolutionary transformational consciousness, blessed by my wife who got the message to bring on to me, her name is just as I that you should be a Majii because you're a Majii. So right now, I'm in the ordinance of Majii, which means the wise one. And then when you accept your wiseness, we are all kings and queens. So I am King Majii. King Majii is of the foundation of transformation and healing. So I was blessed once again to be doing something wonderful called yoga. And what I love about yoga is that yoga is the consciousness to reconnect with breath, vision and movement.
Yoga instructor.
Yes, I'm a yoga instructor.
Tell
so,
them what you do, you know?
yeah.
Tell them what you do it.
Well, right now presently, I'm at 3 resorts to meet the people who are coming into Jamaica and Jamaicans too, because Jamaicans go to resort, to remind them of the self-love called yoga. So presently, I'm at Couples and Suits, which I started 25 years ago, blessed through my wife again, who was the first yoga instructor here when it was Grand Leader Sansusi. It's now coupled. I'm also blessed again to be at Sandals Royal Plantation and Sandals Coast Beach Resort, which I glorify and bless those who open the doors and the foundational setters of these places, that we could offer something as wonderful as yoga to get people at a lighter vibration through their breath, their vision and their movement, and it will allow us again to reason and to elevate our thought, to find oneness again, that we don't perplex our mind in diversity, especially in divination, and accept one in all in one. So it's a nice way to meet people, rejuvenate and have fun in a loving way. That's the foundation of what yoga is, because it's self-love.
So this yoga thing, is something that you and your wife do?
Well, I do it with my wife, but you know, we don't have a routine that we follow daily. But she got me into the program because I like her determination to bring good unto anyone, because I was resistance. But when you have a good person who loves you, you better learn to accept your reality, because they're not going to give up easily. And it was a good thing. So the Spirit heartened me onto her, very loving, to say, come into the yoga consciousness, you know, because a lot of people are resistant to yoga because they start to think that.
That is what I want to ask, you know.
Yes.
How is it? How do people receive it in terms of your students? So can you say you have a class, right?
Oh, well, I want to tell you, you know, I pray they were here to give you their own testimony.
Okay.
But we know that the money is given. I'm going to tell you something. People love the vibration, especially I Majii present yoga unto them, because what I present to them is what is called a laughing yoga or a joyful yoga.
Alright, so tell me more about yoga. What does yoga do for the individual, the person?
Well, yes, well, what yoga do, yoga enhances, it balances, it recharges, it relaxes, and it allows one to realize that life is eternal and to strengthen one again, especially in their thought process, because remember, you know, everything starts from within.
Okay.
So it reminds people now how to work magically with breath, because breath is a creation of life to be.
So it has to do with breathing. Okay.
Yes, because a lot of
meditation.
people. Yes, well, when you breathe properly, meditation is already set. Because every thought is another name for meditation. Meditation is what is registered into self, visible or invisible, silently or openly, in the mind flow, because the mind is a headset. So let me tell you something about the yoga consciousness, because as I'm speaking here to people, national and international too, I can tell them exactly how to reconnect with themselves and to love yoga. In yoga, it's called self-love, so it's non-competitive. So don't think that you're competing with yourself or anyone. So you should be at loving ease vibration with yourself. In yoga again, breath works the magic. Anywhere we go, because breath created life. So it is simply reminding someone, if they think that they've done yoga before, that yoga is doing them. Because we breathe, we twist, we turn, and we move with anything, and it's flexibility. Whether you think you're too flex or you're not too flex, you're flexing anyhow. You see? So when you do a yoga class now, it's just for one to be reminded of what they know in a self-loving way. So I tell people, if you want to just lay down and breathe first, do that. And when you're ready to get up and do something, this is what you will be doing, and they will get the instruction of what to do.
Okay. Alright, so hopefully we can come down in the class and see and actually see how you carry on.
Yes.
Alright.
So give thanks again for the strength of the yoga consciousness. But let me say this before we really come off of the yoga vibration, just for the reconnection, right? Your mouth can be closed and your nostrils are always open. Energy moves in and out very freely. So it's good to inhale long and through the nostril of the prana or the breath or the ki or the chi. Now when you make that inhalation, it's third eye that it goes to first, and that's vision. It goes to the head, which is the crown chakra, and it's for direction. Then it goes now into the lower abdomen, so you have to bring it into the lower abdomen first for the willpower. The abdomen goes out. When you're inhaling and the abdomen won't go anymore, you lift it into the lungs and make a comfortable swallowist energy you can never do, to swallow and to retain the breath. And when you retain the breath, now you're empowering your vision and you're building up your vision. When you're ready to exhale, you open the mouth so slow and you exhale and you pull the abdomen in, because here's the metaphysics now. Exhalation is manifestation. So anything you're doing and you want to strengthen up your movement, inhale the vision what you want to do, exhale and make the move.
Okay.
So that is what yoga reminds people to do, and anything you can do, because even in the medical association, when the doctor wants the best reading when in the hospital, he said breathe slow and deep, because it aligns everything, because yoga aligns mind, body and spirit. Give thanks again for that strength. Namaste.
King Majii.
Yes.
Let's say I wear something over there.
Yep. All right. Before I tell you what this is, I'm going to sing you a song. Is that okay?
Yeah, man,
I am under the rock, and the rock is higher than I. Yes, I am under the rock, and the rock is high with I. Yes, I am under the rock. The rock is the foundation. Now, here is the power of the rock, because the song says it all anyhow. Rocks are very foundational. They tell me that everything is upon the rock, even the waters. Yes, we see the Most High as the rock. What I learn about life, especially what we are taught, they tell us that everything that we see in the physical creation of the Almighty was created before man, our flesh, coming into being. They say mankind was set as caretakers for the vineyards, the rocks and the mountain and the waters. Everything that was created have a healing vibration of importance. One thing they take to deter and block people's minds of their knowledge of creative healing is the medical association.
Okay, well, that is true.
Yes, it's a medical association.
Yeah.
I am not against the medical association, but what I am saying, talk it how it got to the fullness. So don't be afraid to know that potassium is stone you have to grind up to get potassium. It is in shells. Right.
Okay.
Yeah. No, stones are good for healing, but when you say healing to people, because they say, well, but all the stones, they say, what have a heal heart? vibrational frequency of energy is one of the greatest power of healing there is. So even though the stone cannot get up and touch you to heal you, it already have a frequency in itself that you're going to be attracted to it in by looking at it or take it onto yourself that create healing. People should be reminded that each stone they are seeing carry a vibrational frequency of energy that work with organs and thought vibration, nerves, anything you can think of. So when you look at a stone, the coloring of the stone is a part of the healing. Where the stone is found is a part of the healing, and it comes with different vibrations. Those who remember put it into documentary. So we are into stone, and bless my wife again, Jasazai, because our craft that we do, what we call exotic jewelry, the exotic is the remembrance of the healing, that's why it's called exotic. So she came into Jamaica, and a lot of people know Jasazai. She got me into yoga too. Yeah man, good to be one with all and all with one. So sound goes round and about, but we don't lose our consciousness of healing. Yeah, so give thanks for that passing by, and we're here again.
Alright.
Good. So here's the joy again now. I have to call Jasazai's name when it comes to the question you're asking me now about rock. Yes, Jasazai is my wife, our empress, and we are together in that legal binding for over 33 years. So that coming like the navel string not cut yet. So we still hold the harmony. One of the great joy and blessing of Jasazai, she's a natural healer. So she does rock healing, because people in the international vibration of life all over the world, a lot of them know about the natural healing through stone, even more than in Jamaica. But yet you people see a pretty rock and you pick it up, put it in your pocket, you go by the sea or the river and you like the rock and you sit down on the rock. You see? So she came in with this knowledge of remembrance to give workshops to tell people about the healing value of gemstones.
Okay.
So coming back to the rock now, the crystal that you asked me about, you see how clear it is? It's called a clear quartz crystal. Now listen to the mystique of clear quartz crystal. Yes, people. The clear quartz crystal is Earth's greatest natural amplification and transmission of energy. People are fascinated to this day to the highest through technology of cell phone and computers. On the chipboard, they put clear quartz crystal on the chip because of the high frequency of transmission that it carries naturally.
Okay.
So without that enhancement, the magic couldn't even work how people are embracing it now. You see? So when you have a clear quartz crystal now, for your own personal energy and love, you can program, because all those devices through technology are working through programs. You program something into it for transmission. You have to have something that helps the transmission, not just the clear quartz alone. Other frequencies are there. So the clear quartz is amplifying and strengthening other things. It is also strengthening the clear quartz, because when you give, you receive. You see? So when you have a clear quartz crystal, and I'm glad we start at the clear quartz crystal, then now, here is the reality now of the clear quartz crystal now. Because it's good for amplification and transmission, when you have a clear quartz crystal, it's good for you now to know how to program it. Can come to programming again now with your thought vibration to transmit that vision for you to get it onto yourself while you work for it, because you still have to be working. We're not talking about no wave of magic when and you sit down and things come.
Okay.
So we don't want to elude no people to go talk when I go so.
Right.
Right. So when you get the clear quartz crystal now for your own programming, you would get some sea salt water. You put it in a cup or any container that you can submerge or put the crystal under the water to sit. And why you go for the sea salt? Because sea salt water is good for purification. So when you go to the sea, it detoxifies the body. When I was a youth and you lick and buck your toe and them go bathe it, they put salt in the water to move out the imbalances, you see. So you put it under the salt water to clear it. You can let it sit for 3 hours, you can make it sit overnight, work with your own intuition. Then you'll have to take it out now. And when you take it out now, you will have to reactivate it now because you clear it, so it can pick up the frequency now to get the transmission of the vision. So you have to bring water again.
Okay.
So this time now, you bring natural water like spring, river or stream, no chlorinated, no recycled water that is contaminated. You pour it immediately over the crystal. Remember when it was sitting into it. Now you pour it over, it's a flowing now, and it reactivates the crystal and it's ready for programming. Now to program the clear quartz, you find a nice meditative area where you can sit, lie down, anywhere you feel comfortable to stay there, and you palm the crystal. Now here's the magic again. You palm the crystal because when you bring the palm together, in every life form is male and female energy. So no life form of just as a male energy alone. It has a male and female energy in the one life form.
Okay.
The left side, they always tell us that is the feminine side, the intuitive, creative side. The right side, they say, is the masculine side, which is also the manifestation side, but none is against the other because they go from side to side. So I'm not putting one for the other. Both have it already.
Right.
You see? Now, when you hug, you create now, the left go to the right and the right go to the left. So when you hug, especially hugging yourself, you're harmonizing now the male-female energy, where the energy meet, where the hands are, the wrist touch, or the forearm touches, it's where the energy center is to hold the harmony.
Okay.
You see?
Interesting.
Yes, and this is also yoga energy, so all in one and one in all. Yeah, so you're harmonizing, you're relaxing. Back to the rocks again because you're talking about rocks. So now you palm that crystal, bringing the male and female energy. You're going into the vision now because you're not going to open your mouth to say anything out loud in words, but you're going to speak silently with thought and meditation because that is the frequency now. So you sit, meditate, and visualize what you would love to be transmitted with the strength of the clear quartz to help you to attract that onto yourself.
That is how you program it.
And that's how you program it. So after you do that now, when you wear it on your person, or if you're gonna put it down in your presence, it's vibrating that and transmission that. What it does is what people would call, in other words, a mantra. And what a mantra is a word or a group of words that you say, especially positively, over and over and over again, so it's not a long thing, and it's your brain good to keep it long. And you keep repeating it, so it has to go. It has to go.
So
Yes.
manifesting.
Yes. And one of the mantra I love, and I take it from the Most High, love and forgiveness, is anything you're going through life and you want to get back to your strength of your journey because you think you might be failing, you're not getting where, or you didn't like the experience, I will make all things new. I will make all things new. And that was said even in divination when the Almighty gave choice to life, which creates perplexity of minds, because you have to think now, do I take the right or the wrong? But when you're praying, you don't say thy choice will be done on earth as is in heaven, you say thy will. So willingness is a great empowerment over choice, because when it comes to willingness, it has to be good. That's why you pray that way, you see? So the crystal acts as a mantra, and that's a clear quartz. To finalize it now, because the water and the crystal is there, people who might be doubting what we are saying about a rock, when you go to divination again, yes, yeah man, we are healed, we are healed, we are healed. Cyrene is going through. Here's the reality now. They tell us that the 10 Commandments was written on a tablet of stone. When you know of the metaphysics of stone, because each color of the stone carry a different vibrational frequency from the head right down to the toe. So you can get a stone, especially if you come where we display our jewelry, and if you like a red stone, it could be a garnet. It's gonna work at the base of the spine, all the organ, nerves and glands, you see. If you get a yellow stone, it's gonna work into the willpower chakra, which is represented by yellow. If you get a green stone, it's gonna go to the heart region because it's aligned with the rainbow color spectrum to create that healing. So the 10 Commandments was written on a tablet of stone. So here it is. Right? So it is there with the vibration. Water is liquid light. Clear quartz crystal is rock light. Ice is frozen light. Light through light, visible or invisible, creates a rainbow. So when you drink water, you're drinking the rainbow, and that rainbow energy balances all energy system, because that's another remembrance, because we're into alternative healing, but each one reminds one. So that is it. So rocks are very foundational, and to strengthen it to come to a coronation now. When you see kings and queens are coronated and they wear a crown on their head, those crowns are studded with stones. The scepters in their hand, at the head, have stones into them. You see, Aaron in the Bible, was the brother of Moses, wore a breastplate of 12 stones. And they tell us in the Bible that each stone represents a tribe of the children of Israel. You see, so nothing is above or below the rock. It is there all the way. You see, so it is just alternative healing. So if you try some pharmaceuticals or you're trying some other things, and it not, try alternative healing. Reiki again, with just as other healers done, with put in the hand with intention and vision, color visualization, if you know the area where the color represents the organs, the nerves or the gland, and your loving intention, and you know your blessing, especially can remind yourself that you have carried that healing from lifetime to lifetime. That I see just as I get miraculous healing from Reiki, other people have their testimony who does Reiki. You see, I have people coming to the hotel where I teach yoga who ask for alternative healing, which I pray because I know they are hearing this and they need to hear this. They need to use alternative healing in their spas and get people to heal, because other people come searching for that. That's one modality. Another modality, another healing alternative also then is called energy realignment. In energy realignment, which Dasazai does also, it's hands off. So you move one energy in with one hand and you pull it out with the other. So one is pushing and one is pulling, but you know it goes from side to side. So none is not doing more what the other is not doing. Kind of hold one and not do this. You rock with it, you see? And that's doing it. Coming again now, because it's very touching. People would say you're talking nothing when I go so. Because going into Christianity, people would say, well, the Almighty is the only healer. But if you look at Christ's tradition, some of the healing that Christ was doing was touching, and some was not touching. You see, but the intention and love was there. So a lot of the healing that Christ was doing was metaphysical, more than physical. You see, word, one of the most things, was the highest form. You see, so we are just here to remind people that it is all there in knowledge already. So even if you don't ready for it, it is always ready for you when you're ready. So that is coming now to what the rock represented, and that is the vibration. If you come again where we are displayed, you can get a lot more knowledge onto things that remind you that it's not just the prettiness alone. The rock is not found.
Definitely should probably do a feature.
Yeah, that's how you build your house. Concrete is rock, you know, but you only grind it up and get it with something. Cement is rock.
Sure.
Yeah, so give thanks, yeah man.
Yeah man, you told me some things a while ago I really never know about.
Well, you know, I have to respond when people say things because they don't remember the power of what they're saying. When someone say I don't know, the word no is in the statement.
Right.
So you know something, don't worry about the don't. You have the power of the know with you already, so that it's supposed to help you to reconnect once you have the willing spirit to know that what you don't know, you're still reaching to know it.
Alright. So I'm going to talk a bit about the music now.
Alright. Wow. Music is so great, it gets the spirit dancing. And if the spirit dances, the physical will dance too. So music is one of the greatest soothing spirit could ever keep balance of the male, female, when you call it the invisible and the visible, you know. So you have to once again take music for the best medicine that it brings. That's why when it comes to music now, rhythm is great, but the words are even greater. You see?
So how you got started in music?
Well, I got started in music because, to be truthful, born into Kingston in a inner city community, and it still is today.
Kingston?
Yes.
Where in Kingston?
Well, I was born at what a place them called 2 Mile near to 3 Mile along Spanish Town Road.
Okay.
In a inner city community, you see, and one of the greatest relaxation and joy and happiness, especially to cope with life in those places, have always come through music. So even when you're lying down, you're rising up, somebody's sending music to you. You know? Yeah. So it soothes the spirit when the words come for healing harmoniously, and when the rhythms from the instrument, because remember, you know, in celebrating to our Almighty, we know that you have to come with the word, the sound, and the power, and the instrument to get the harmonious flow, that we will feel joy, that we are creating and we are creators too of joy and happiness. So being that I was into that energy, and it really get me dancing too, because I love to dance and I love everything in diversity. So in my consciousness, no dance is really better than any other dance. It just do its thing and harmony is there.
Alright, so how would you describe your music?
Well, my music first and foremost is one of great healing, restoration, and I call it remembrance for restoration and connection for all life, because we have diversity, we have languages. Sometimes someone might not hear the words you are saying in your language, but they hear it through the rhythm, and in their own energy sometimes they can really feel what the word is saying, so they could almost make a translation for themselves of what you're saying in a language that they don't know, you know. And I love that part of the communication through music. So in my own consciousness now, one of the great things that got me into my musical flow again, I love to give thanks for the Rastafari energy of it. Why? Because when I took unto myself Rastafari covenant and consciousness through the joy of His Majesty again and Empress Menenai, I realize now that, wow, you have to wake up to another reality, because our acceptance of ourselves through Rastafari was not accepted in the flow of governance in Jamaica, probably worldwide too. But I'm talking about my experience in Jamaica. So I had to find a refuge now to grow my spiritual consciousness, which was already still out there because there was Rasta people before me coming through. And as we're speaking about Rastafari and music, I will have to begin to say, in the foundation of Rastafari music in my consciousness, I would have to put the Nyabinghi first. Yes. Yeah. So let us talk about Nyabinghi first. Yeah. You know why? Because Nyabinghi is the root. Now, Nyabinghi is a divine chanting to celebrate and glorify and to sing praises unto the most omnipotent, mighty wise of creation, Eli, Selah, that mighty Rastafari. And I personally put Empress Menenai in it, because why I say that, a lot of people, even in Rastafari faith, don't hold them transformation yet to create the female and the male balance. I was blessed to do that. So I don't just talk about His Majesty alone, I have to talk about Her Majesty too. So what I realized in the Nyabinghi now and the Rastafari vibration, it was putting her into great remembrance of acceptance now that this is who you are, you know. So here's the reality. So the Nyabinghi now is so authentic that every instrument didn't need what we call electrifying through any plug-in business.
How about acoustic?
Yes, it was no plug-in begin, man. It was a plug-in with the spirit and what they call the drums. But here what I learn about music now, and Rastafari through Nyabinghi, what they call the drums are really the original harp. And what, yes, it's original harp. And why I'm going to say this now is because a lot of our divine teachings in the West, you know, comes from what is called the Bible, you know. So when you look into the Bible now, especially into the Psalms, because the Psalms are singing songs of praises through reciting, the songs are also music. So when you look at a little sub-heading under each song, you see the song of so and so. Yes, so it tells you that in the Bible, that each psalm is a song, and David was an harpist. You see, but coming back to the harps now, the same book in Psalms 2 is going to tell you to praise the Most High upon the cymbals, praise him upon the timbrels, praise him upon the string instrument, and praise him upon the harp. So he didn't say drum in the Bible, you see. So once the instrument have a string on it, it's a string instrument. Whether it's what they are calling the harp now, a guitar, a ukulele, anything with a string is a string instrument. So Rastafari remind I know that the original harps are what they are calling the drums. So yes, so if you notice the musical orientation in any order, drums are very much in the flow, even more than anything else. Yes. So when it comes to the Nyabinghi energy and Rastafari, because we are on the musical journey, 3 harps or drums plays the musical strength. You have what is called the bass drum, and what the bass drum does, it's good for grounding. It keeps you grounded in your physical reality, but the spirit is there too. You have another drum and a harp called what is called the funde. What the funde does, it keeps what the 1-2 heartbeat. So all the while the balance of the funde is to make sure the heart is beating. So you will, that person playing that funde harp will have to be conscious to get the heart beating. So you have to keep that 1-2 tapping on the drum while the bass drum is giving you the grounded. You know, here is the one that is create the real sweetness now, although they're all sweet. The one that they call the repeater or the repeater. So that is a lighter flow of the energy now, and the person who plays the repeater have magical fingers too, because you have to create now the diversity of the sound at its lightness that creates a different dance move because of how diverse it is. You see? And then now that keeps the spirit dancing. So sometimes when you wouldn't even feel like you could dance, because what I learn about music, you know, even when the physical is still, the spirit dance. Yes, okay. The spirit dances. So that repeat, yeah. So that percussion is, and as I am speaking anyhow, it's good to show an illustration of what we're talking about. So this is the bass drum right here. This one that I am playing, that is the funde. The one that Prophet is playing, because Prophet is a master harpist, and the repeater, that's it. This is our tabernacle that we give praises from. In her hand, she have what is called a little shaker, which could almost be called the timbrels, because remember the timbrels have little sound in.
It's not the same thing as a marker?
Well, once it, the diversity of the name might create a different look, but if whatever creates a sound will bring it back to what it really is. So in this shaker are little small thing that makes sound, and that is even a nicer vibration of a wind sound. So it's very light. So it's whatever diverse sound you can play on that shaker, it brings it. So that is also a part of the old musical vibration into Nyabinghi. So Nyabinghi rises at that time now, giving celebration to His Majesty to strengthen us upon our journey, because we have a history of our culture of suppression, and we need now to redeem ourselves and know that, well, sing praise to your Almighty first if you are rejected of it, and then you will have the love and forgiveness to sing praise to another Almighty too. I do that because I can't take one to fight against all and all to fight against one. So coming out to our tradition and cultural aspect of Jamaica and the musical vibration, because yes, we had a reggae month, and that was to celebrate the reggae music, but joyfully to know, reggae actually comes from the foundation of Nyabinghi. Yes, you see, it came from the foundation of Nyabinghi. So what it was doing now, it was allowing people who felt this energy now to go into their also own creative flow, bringing in other instruments and hearing how the word, because it's a word that creates everything in it. Because when you sing a song, if you say, "Ja ja do I get high on it," and you go to the studio and the man takes up the guitar, first thing he want to tell you is, sing your song. And once you start to sing now, him start to find the connection. You see, after the creative energy start to flow more nice and more abundant now, and people start to get their creativity in, and the diverse sound create the reggae vibration now, and it start to give a greater strength and to musical vibration, especially in our origination, because Jamaica is blessed to can say we have the authority for reggae, you know, and how people now come onto the sound. So when it comes to the reggae now, what I know is that some of the greatest joy people have in reggae music is when positive words are seen. When you're going to sing about a woman, your experience, praising your Almighty, or everything, that was the first joy into reggae, because people needed something to give them joy and happiness to face life as they go around doing their work to survive, you see. So in relaxation now, music has great strength into relaxation to give you the joy to move along. Blessed are those who hear and feel honored to be called to make presentation into things, especially music. So I get my calling once again to in the wilderness working, coming out of the system to survive, and I went straight into the wilderness to do the best thing, which is now the same thing that is the best security, and that is food.
Okay.
So I became a farmer, you see.
Oh.
Yes. So farming now is its food security, strength of life that will give us the joy to move along.
So what you plan?
When I was farming, you know, yes, I put food first because you have to have the strength to do anything else. But then to the joy of life, you need a relaxation and a strength of your vision to do it. And that's where the herb come in. So the herb now was one of our greatest strength and encouragement too, that we will get an economical survival in a highway to money order, because of all the agricultural product, herb is a high price. One thing we have to come back to the herb again is that they tell you that herb is a mind-altering substance, so they were using that to go against the liberation, mind, M-I-N-D, right? And I say to them, everything is mind-altering, because in prayer is a mind-altering substance, but you're using word. But in the state of a mind-altering, the mind can alter just by the breath. But if you're going to take something physical to enhance your mind-altering, you must first know where you're going with your thought, because what that substance is going to do now is going to bring it to your lightest. Can you balance at your lightest? Because remember, you know, if you even look at, say, alcohol there, or anything that go into the system that make the physical and the spiritual feel a difference in itself, right? If it's in the liquid form through alcohol and it's too strong, probably the physical drop down and the thought gone one next side, you see. So when you take the herb and it lifts your thought vibration onto the lightness and you're focusing on your vision before, it makes it to be iris. So coming to music again now, and anything but to music, that's why most musicians were always, who know the energy, always smoking the herb before they do performances and do sessions in studios to make them to be very light, because they know what they're going to do already. If you want to hear the bass play sweet and him high, at that time that you hear the sweet bass.
In other words, it enhances your creativity.
Yes, yes, and make it to be light, so you don't feel a heaviness, so you don't have to worry about, wow, why this feels so. Everything in a harmony to a lightness, you see. So taking in the herb now, on that level, create the flow. So coming to my musical experience again. So while I was planting the herb, through Rastafari energy, give thanks that I'm liberating myself from system and policies. Then now, the wind is so magical, you know. They say the poets blow it in the wind. So I start to hear now wordings coming in a vibration to celebrate what I am doing. And I didn't plan what to say, but it was coming in. So I just started to use now, and the divine was orchestrating and setting rhythms to words, and I started to sing. And then when I started to sing now, probably you sing out and somebody said, but you have a good voice, man. Why don't you be a singer? So the music started, and then now I just started to do things now, and the music started coming little by little, until it flows in now, that I can see in a nice togetherness that I am blessed in my musical experience to give thanks that, as we were saying now in the root of Nyabinghi, I was able to do 2 Nyabinghi albums of 21 chants. One is called Jah Reality Come, 7 Seals to Infinity, and the other one is called Jah Reality Come, Selassie I Calling. and then it transcends again into the reggae energy of a reggae album called It's All About Jah.
And is there a difference, or tell me the difference or the correlation between Nyabinghi and reggae?
Alright, what Nyabinghi, the only difference is that when you're in the Nyabinghi energy, you keep most of the energy vibration to seek solution and songs of praise unto your Almighty. So some of the chants are strengthening people to get rid of down pressure. Some of the chants are glorifying that creative consciousness of the Almighty again, Haile Selassie, because Rastafari and Nyabinghi we're talking about, how to really find joy that you find an Almighty to sing praise unto, because we were given things at time where it was coming in a way of lack of self-love. So it comes to self-love. So it creates that. There is no really true conflict, or should never be a conflict between Nyabinghi and reggae, because it is a sun same way coming out of the road. You see? Because the Rastafari word, His Majesty name, also going to reggae music. You see? Right. But it is for the person now who want to know, because the question is asked, you know, where are you from? How did you originate? How you came to be? So, giving my own testimony as an individual, I would have to bring that strength so someone's mind might be clear that they could say, oh yes, I was just about to ask that question, but the answer is there already.
Alright, so do a piece of music. Can I get a piece of music?
Piece of the music. Alright. Well, since you're going to take a piece of the music, and it's a good piece anyhow, I will start with a Nyabinghi.
Alright.
So here's the Nyabinghi now. Haile Selassie is Jah. Haile Selassie is Jah. Haile Selassie is Jah. Haile Selassie is Jah. I know, Jah Jah, I know. I love Jah Jah so. And he could also say, heal him, Haile Selassie, Rastafari. You can put your own harmony to the drums, you know. You can also say, come make we chant down Babylon. Yes, I make we burn down Babylon. You see, because you use it for defense, security, and elevation.
So basically, Nyabinghi is a mood or a feeling, or whatever it is that you're feeling at the time, you can just chant it.
Yes, and sometimes, yes, because in your feelings you need solution. So if you feel down pressed, you can draw for a chant that will be your spear then. Yes, 2 words, because you know your intention of the chant wasn't first to attack physically by yourself first, but to call upon your Almighty. If you have to attack physically, to give you the physical strength, but you live it because it still is a rejoicing.
Oh, okay.
You see, even though it sounds that we are attacking, it's a rejoicing, because to be truthful, you know, if you're going into battle to defeat your enemy, you should go in rejoicing.
Because I already win.
Oh man, you see how the spirit and flow. So when you go into battle, if you're going at the battle with a stern face, your nerves up on edge, you're quick to collapse.
Right.
When you're going rejoicing and smiling, your enemy are perplexed.
Right.
So they wonder then, oh, you look so happy. You see? So that is the power that it comes with.
Right.
And that was the Nyabinghi now. When you go to the reggae now, you know, in my own context of my production, I could say, it's all about Jah, Rastafari. It's all about Jah, Rastafari. It's all about Jah, Rastafari. Hail King Selassie, Rasta. Hail King Selassie, Rasta. I'm feeling irate, Jah Jah, Jah Jah, Jah lo feeling irate. Yeah, man. So that is it to the level, you know. Now, I must say this, because we're into the musical vibration of what King Majii was inspired to do. Also, I have a single, not the album now, because the album is all about Jah and the Nyabinghi, but there's a single now that was given to I, and I got it almost 12 years ago, and this one is very touching because it comes to the money order.
Okay.
Because of the money system again, which people are using, because it's not money doing the thing, it's people.
Right.
So this song now was given in a remembrance of what was said anyhow, and it's called Money, It Must Get a Lick.
Okay.
Right. Now, words are important because someone might say, oh, you're going to say money get a lick and you want money to do almost everything. And I say, listen now, the word didn't say destroy, the word said to get a lick. And the whole money vision came to I know because when you do yoga, you live right and you eat right, you're open to divine things of remembrance, so you don't blame things that are not to be blamed for what people are doing. Because people will jump up and blame money, and it's not money, it's people. Right? So here is the reality again, back to the money lick order now. The money lick order came in because in divination, it was said before, if you go into biblical history in Revelation, that buying and selling will have to cease. The word says cease. That means it have to hold on a standstill for righteousness to flow. And when we look how things are running in the money order now, and I laugh when I'm going to say this now, and in my divine inspiration now to come into the vibration of things now, when I was growing as a youth, and some people still have that mindset and word to say, they used to tell me that you don't need money to go to heaven. And when I started to do yoga and live on my conscience started to open, I said, wow, I wish I were doing yoga and get the remembrance of it. Money runs the foundation from earth to heaven. So here's the reality now. If you need money to go to heaven, you have to have what is called testimony. Now, when people are coming into union for the male and female to come lovingly to create that vibration into the continuation of life through birth and children, and they want to know that it is well blessed through a divine and high vibration of great powers, they say you have to go in holy matrimony. It's money again. Now, if you're going to divorce because you don't like how the relationship was going, but the love of your heart, you have to share what each work together for. Lovingly, you have to come with what they call alimony. It's money again. Then now, you have to go away and celebrate in ceremony, and you have to live in harmony. And if you need material things, you have to have money, whether it's paper money or silver or gold, it's still money. You see? So everything is money, because if not money is a problem against people. So just finalize it now, and people listen again, lovingly. Where we reach right now in creation, lift your wise mind and focus on the money system, because example they all about the place now, or the money order get lick all about the place. You have to be careful of, once again, where you have put your money because your heart did it, that you know pull up on no string. And if you look worldwide to the history and prophecy of buying and selling, have to see the whole money order crash now. And they are setting up new system. Yet they might come up with new system, but all of that is for the domination of people. You see? So when the money lick song came in now, it is a hasting them unto their judgment. You see? And what I did for the image, and I'm going to show you the image because it's good to show the reality and just know that you're not hiding anything. This was a vision that came to me for the money link. I got a US $1, and when I turn it over, you have the number 1 at the back. If you put M in front of the O and Y after the E, you get money. Now I get a US $10 that has the, you see at the bottom, it says US Treasury. That is where them store the money. So that is the building of the US Treasury where them store the money. And it's underneath it. If you look good, you will see lightning running all about through it. So it's not Majii fling no stone or fire no gunshot on it. It's a divine thing that flow through it. Yeah. To let them know, if you're not using for righteousness, you know, come into it again. Money is good. Use it for righteousness, see it. You don't have to worry about the money lick song. Right. But if you're not using for righteousness, you're in for a lick because your intention is wrong. You see? So people now have to know how to make love and forgiveness. Deal with the brethren and the sisters eliminate violence because of corruption and all those things. And all it's about material and flesh most time, not really rejoicing into the joy of life. So let us harmonize ourselves and take this message to the highest vibration and find your joy and happiness and deal with the things, because right now anybody that deal with businesses right now, you have to pray that that person is loving to not deceive you because of money. So that is a blessing. The Nyabinghi was the root, the reggae is the brand. I call the money lick the Armageddon.
Best of King Majii.
Yeah man, give thanks for the blessing, well received.
Alright people, you know what else to say? We say everything, you know, respect.
Yes, well, you know, to finalize it now, there is a great connection to Majii. So here's the connection now. Having all these things, it is to be delivered. So Majii, with workers of the vineyard round and about, is we're setting up now the delivery to get people onto it. So Majii, energy and music, Nyabinghi, reggae and everything, documentaries, yoga, meditation, everything will be setting up on SoundCloud. So if you go to soundcloud.com/King Majii, then you will see and get a greater coming into Majii and creativity and energy to heal oneself also too. Well, yes, so yes, yes, so that will be there anyhow, just to say. And what a great blessing for what is happening here. Give thanks to the bread. I love it, love it, love it every so much. It was ordained to be, and thanks I 100% for it and for the strength.